Hey, what's up, friends from El Tri Online? Joe Rodriguez here, joining you from Bristol, Connecticut, along with El Super Mojado for another episode of the ETO Podcast. We got lots of things to talk about. Super Mojado, first of all, I'm really sorry, man.
Hey, no worries, man. We can take it. We're ready for the fire coming. Thursday.
Hey, what a trooper! He's quite the trooper. And also, we're gonna join by a list of characters. First off, we're gonna be joined by Zinuhe. What's up, dude? You were out there in the game, man. Tell us how it went
What's
down.
up? Yeah, dude, I'm like I said, man, I just came back. I survived a crazy weekend. Started off with a lot of emotion, a lot of busyness, and then it just went downhill from there, man. On Saturday.
Wow, man. So, like, talk about the atmosphere. You got there, what day, and then just tell us about like that weekend. What was that weekend like during a Clasico in Mexico City?
Well, we got there on Thursday, probably like about midday. Checked in the Airbnb. I recommend that to anybody going out to Mexico City. We got a nice apartment right down Reforma. So checked in, just ready to go, and just dude. I mean, I don't know about you, but I watched the Netflix show called The Taco Chronicles.
Mm,
So our first goal that night was to hit up all those taco stands.
nice.
So we went to all that, had all the all the tacos that we could. Dude, I honestly gained like 20 pounds that night.
Was the goal achieved?
Yep. El borracho, ¿cómo se llama? El borracho, borrego, borracho, no, borracho. They were something divorced goat or something. El vircito, and then los güeros were the three that we hit up.
Damn. Sounds crazy, man. That in the background, who didn't even give me an opportunity to introduce, was Luis Bravo. Luis is here for one and one thing only. Luis, what are you here for?
What am I here for?
Yeah.
It's a podcast, the ETO Podcast, of course.
Come on, it's all right. You can start dishing it. It's okay, man.
He's
I can
already
take
gonna
it.
brag,
Don't
man.
worry.
Super's ready for you.
Wait, do you guys hear something?
No.
No?
Wow. Wow. All right, hold on.
Man.
Hold on, Luis.
Awesome.
This isn't just gonna be Luis. I might as well bring your tag team member up in this business already. So Leo Hernandez is also here with us. Leo, what's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Glad to be here. Is that Suki with those noises and sounds?
No, I think that's somebody else sneaking their mix up in there. All right. So now that we have the Americanistas in the house, who wants to go first?
Yeah.
Let's go.
They can't
I
even
mean,
talk.
where do you want us to start?
Well, let's start off first with the. I want to talk about Giovanni Dos Santos right away, but I don't want to start with that. I want to just talk about just the game itself, the game overall, the result. So, Luis, let's start off with you. What did you see?
Yeah. Well, honestly, in the first...
Yeah. That's
He cut out.
yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Ooh.
That's
Dude,
how it
that's it,
is.
man.
That's how it is.
That's
See?
what,
He
All
wants
right.
to-
so that was that. So anyway, Leo, let's go with you, dude.
Sorry, guys. Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Finish off, Lewis.
All right, so Luis, what's
Yeah,
up?
sorry.
Dude?
I
Tell
keep
us,
getting
tell us.
bad reception over here.
He's getting America's reception.
Yeah, so like I was
There you
saying,
go.
I mean, the first the first 15 minutes, honestly, Chivas wasn't playing as bad. They were holding their own. I thought, obviously, America was doing a lot of counterattacks and everything. And then the first goal came, which was off of not the corner kick, excuse me, the free kick by, I forgot who took it from Chivas. If you guys can remember his name, Ponce.
Ponce, yeah,
took
yeah,
the
yeah,
free
yeah.
kick, and honestly, one thing, Ponce was a little bit off that game.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know if you guys saw the entire game. He
Mhm.
was off. A lot of his
Yeah.
shots, a lot of his crosses were way off the mark. Something pretty unusual for Ponce, who's honestly one of
Hit the wall every time.
who's honestly has been pretty consistent in the Chivas backfield. But based off that free kick, it bounced off the wall, and which is what started a counterattack. And it was a beautiful counterattack by America for the first goal that started pretty much from their own box all the way down to inside Chivas's defensive box that left Sebastian Cordova right in front of the goal and easily just hit the 1-0 goal in the 17th minute, I believe. But after that, obviously, the next huge play was the Giovanni Dos Santos play with El Pollo. And I think after that, before America scored the second goal in the first half,
Yep.
America was a little rattled, I think. I don't know if you guys thought the same thing, but they were a little rattled right after Giovanni went down with that. And I thought, honestly, myself, I thought Chivas was going to score, or if not, the score was going to be held up 1-0 going into the half. And then once again, Cordova got a pass, this time from Paulo Aguilar, a nice little chip over defenders, and one-timed it and right past the goalie for the 2-0 mark right in the beginning. So obviously the first half was dominated by America, but then in the second half, it looked like America was, I feel like, was still feeling the effects of Giovanni Dos Santos, trying to see if he was still okay. But as you guys saw, Chivas scored I think it was the 49th minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the 49th minute, they scored. And then, honestly, myself, I was like, oh, no, man. It's 2-1. Chivas, they're going to come back now with momentum. They're down a man, and they're only down 2-1 now. And America is probably still going to be feeling the effects of not having Giovanni Dos Santos having that in the back of their head. But after that, I feel like Chivas wasn't able really to attack. The only other things that they did against America in that second half was not anything at all, honestly.
Well,
I couldn't really find anything else for Chivas that Chivas did. But then there was the penalty, the two penalties that were marked by VAR and then that were checked. And only one of them stayed through. Emmanuel Aguilera scored the third goal. And then at the end, we have Mr. Henry Martin scores the last and final blow to Chivas with the 4-1.
damn. Yeah, it was quite the game. All right, I know. I see Super right in front of me, and he's biting his tongue. He just wants to say something, but I'm not gonna let him go. I want first to hear Leo's thoughts on the game. Leo, give us your thoughts.
Well, I'm gonna just keep it short. Chivas played really bad, like always. I think America played probably one of their best games since I know they had like 5-6 games without a win, and this is actually I think Memo Ochoa's first victory since he got America, so that was really good. I mean, at least for the Americanistas, but Sebastian Cordova, damn, that guy was dangerous for Chivas. That guy is really good, honestly.
Yeah,
And Chivas just didn't show anything. They're just really lost, even with those coaches and those they have good players. I got to give them that, but they just can't connect. And if it's not for Veracruz, Chivas would be going to Liga Ascenso, no doubt. But
He
I
just
mean,
had
I'm pretty sure
to throw that one
is
in there.
proud of
Come on.
Veracruz doing bad. But no, yeah, America did a great game. For me, it's honestly one of the best ones they've had this season. Chivas, I don't know what they have to do to get back to the level they should be in. But honestly, I feel bad for them.
Listen, man, everything was, against Chivas on this game. It was just a horrible game. Listen, I know you guys, you won. There's a big like score, but that's not what I saw, man. It's like Chivas ever since that roja from Briseño and that play itself, it changed the whole thing. It ruined the game for me. It ruined the game for everyone. I mean, everybody was. You're not gonna tell me that they play the same, after that play. Seeing something like that, as dramatic as it was, it changed everything. And then, they were down a man. Chivas already was. They had the early score from America, the early goal, and it just, like I said, everything was against Chivas, man. And since the changing of the coaches and what a poor decision that was. I don't know if you guys agree.
Yeah.
You cannot do that right before a Clasico. If Tomas Boy wasn't there, I'm not gonna say they would have won, okay, because America was playing better at first, but I think it would have been a different game. It would have been definitely a different game, and I don't know. It's
Well, no,
just,
all right. So let's really cut to the chase here. The fact of the matter is that Chivas did play shitty. They played a crappy game, right? It wasn't their night, and I do agree that changing the must boy, a game before the Clasico, it doesn't make sense to me either. So, but that's not the point here. The point is that the game itself, right? If you actually stopped and you look and watch the game, I can't disagree with Leo or with Luis, the fact that Chivas was outplayed and outmaneuvered, outcoached, and we'll talk about Briseño and Giovanni Dos Santos right now in a little bit, right? But that's not the point. The point is that this kid, Cordova, I didn't even know who he was, man.
me neither.
And he made a name for
yeah.
himself on the biggest stage in all of Mexican soccer.
Yeah,
And you got to
he
give him
did it.
credit.
No, I give him a lot of credit. Yeah, he did great things. I mean, he
He
was
was the best player for America.
yeah,
By
No
far.
doubt.
yes, and
He took a lot of good shots.
oh yeah, he did an
By far.
outstanding job.
I honestly thought for a second he was like some Argentinian kid.
Me too. No, it's
Oh, is that why you asked us?
Yes. That's exactly why I asked. I was like, who the hell is this guy? Dude, those
No.
shots that he took and the way that he played was incredible, man.
Well,
It
yeah,
was
he's
incredible.
the even more incredible thing, excuse me, is he's ambidextrous. So
Exactly.
He shoots both with left and with the right.
Exactly.
And it
Yes.
makes it seem like
Yeah.
his dominant foot is the left foot, but it seems like he shoots exactly the same way with the right foot. So
I thought it was right.
Oh, he shot with
No,
both legs.
no, he
That's crazy. That guy's going to Europe for like in 2 years.
So he's going to Europe next year, dude. The way
yeah.
that he played this weekend
but
was
now
incredible.
but hold on right there. I'm gonna stop you right there. It's 12 weeks now, and this is the first time we see him. First time we notice him. I mean, have you noticed him in the past 11 games?
How many times has he played? I don't know.
I think he's been playing every game.
Has he?
He's been playing every
he's been
game.
playing every game. He's been playing since last season too.
Yeah,
So
he's
last
been playing
season,
since last
Piojo
season.
was giving him opportunities here and there.
Okay.
It wasn't as consistent, but this season
Yes.
he's been in the starting lineup since week 1.
But
So
it's
now-
only one game, so we're like already
Exactly.
not saying he's going to Europe. You got let it be consistent, and it's not call him the next Messi yet. Relax.
Exactly, exactly. Look what happened to the same
Linus.
thing that happened to
Linus?
Linus and the guy from Chivas, Vega. I mean, look,
That's
he
why I
had
said
a great
2 years.
game with Atlas. He scored a hat trick last year, and then nothing happened.
Yeah.
Dude.
Hey, Linus is killing it in the bench over there. though.
Exactly, dude. We cannot.
I love Linus. I think he has a lot of potential, but at the same time, that was I think that club was too big for him to jump into. He needs to go to like a PSV or an Ajax. He
Wait a
probably
minute.
would've been
Who?
good.
Betis? What do you mean too big for him? Betis? Who the hell is Betis, man?
It's still a.
Come
It's
on.
La Liga, dude.
Seriously, I
It's
understand.
still La
but-
Liga.
La
but
Liga,
it's
man.
not-
Look at the talent they have.
It's
though.
not a Valencia. It's not
about
Atletico de
the team, it's
Madrid
about the level
or
of
Real
playing.
Madrid. Come on, guys. If
the
he
level of
can't play in
playing.
Betis, I don't know, dude. I think Piojo was right. He's not ready to go. He should have waited
That's
at
right.
least one more season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
know?
why 2 years.
Yeah, with Cordova too, man. We got to give him some
Cordova,
time. I mean,
Yeah.
he's-
One more
he's
year
like-
playing, and maybe even half, and then he could probably go.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys remember this. That's the reason Piojo held back also Edson Alvarez.
That's true.
He
That's
did
a
the
very good
exact
point.
same thing, and then I
Mhm.
mean, right now he's playing really good.
he's consistent.
Although he's getting a little bit pushback from some of the coaches over there, but I feel like it's a little bit of motivation for
Mhm.
him. That's why the coaches are doing that, but that's something that Piojo has done before, holding players back before letting them go to Europe. So I mean, hopefully that is the case with Cordova, just so he can improve a lot more. But yeah, like how you guys said, Cordova has not had a breakout game like this one,
No.
but he has been consistent here and there, at least within the team
Yeah.
itself.
Okay. So, all right. So you guys all make good points, and it's true. Z, you're absolutely right. It's one game only, right? And we shouldn't make this like his case to send him out to Europe. That's absolutely true. What I'm saying basically is that the guy had a breakout game, and what a better stage to have that. You know, that's basically what I'm saying.
I totally agree with you, and it's just we just have to take it.
Sure.
One step at a
Okay,
time.
but besides the point, I mean, it seemed like he single-handedly like beat up Chivas. That's what it appeared to me.
Yeah, because the other two goals, that the third and fourth goal, they happen in a penalty that it was. To me, it's very doubtful. I can't even. I see the play over and over again. I don't see anything, dude. I don't know.
All right, we'll go to the officiating in a second. Now I want to jump really quick into the Pollo Briseño and Giovanni Dos Santos incident. All right, so Z, you were at the stadium. Tell us what it was like there the moment the injury takes place.
Well, it's funny because it didn't look as bad from the stands, right? We couldn't get the close up. None of the projectors or images showed what really happened. So at first, from the Chivas perspective, they're just like, all right, Giovanni's just faking it. It's another, he's just he's washed out. He probably just re-injured something. But then when the trainers came out and they were calling him desperately over, that's when I realized, okay, this is serious. Like I thought maybe he broke something, a bone was popping out, and none of the fans really knew what was going on. They just knew something serious until, of course, people started taking out their phones and started seeing the images, and that's where you can tell that the America fans were pissed off and furious seeing that play. But afterwards, I mean, I think, I don't know. There's a lot of opinions out there, right? And I'm curious to see what everybody thinks, whether it was intentional or not.
Okay, so on television, and I'm sure everybody here can agree, on television it appeared as though Giovanni Dos Santos had gotten struck by lightning because he was just like in so much pain. And I personally have broken a bone before, and I know that the pain is excruciating. It's horrendous. And that's originally what I thought. I was like, holy smokes. I mean, this guy's injury is really, really bad. Now, the reason why I asked you that is because, like, I know in stadiums, when there's a gruesome injury, everybody just kind of goes numb and everybody gets quiet, Now, guys, Luis, going back to Briseño and the play itself. As an Americanista, did you think that this was something that Briseño did on purpose?
I don't think, honestly, I don't think it was on purpose. I mean, myself, when I used to play soccer, I played defense, so I know sometimes there's some fast plays where you try to go in a little hard and maybe you don't have time or you don't even think of bringing your leg back or something like that. But I feel like he was trying to go for the ball, but I feel like the way he just angled his foot, which was showing pretty much the cleat side of his foot, was what made it seem a lot more, especially obviously in instant replay now, it makes it seem like he actually did everything on purpose.
Okay.
But I mean, with the velocity of the play and how fast they were both going pretty much, I honestly don't think it was on purpose.
All right, well, let's hear from the man himself. Here's what he had to say about the actual play.
Hola Gio, quiero reiterar mis disculpas, siento mucho lo sucedido. Creo que fue una jugada muy rápida donde me rebasó la velocidad, pero de verdad no fue mi intención causarte ningún daño. Somos compañeros de profesión y de verdad que mis oraciones y de mi familia están contigo. Espero verte pronto y recuperado, amigo. Abrazo.
Okay, so there he sounds obviously like really apologetic and genuine. Some people could obviously argue that he had some time to prepare. Super. Now, looking at things from the Chivas side, what did you make of this apology?
No, and he had to apologize. And then, as a matter of fact, he tried to go to the hospital with Mariano Varela, but obviously, that night they weren't gonna let him. He was gonna go into surgery. There was so much going on that obviously he wasn't gonna being able to see him, and and I and I agree. I don't think he went like to hurt him, but I what I don't agree with is the type of cleats that he was using.
Mm.
I blame it on that, dude. I've seen those type of cleats, and I'm shocked that they're fucking legal,
Right.
to use those, because those are the it's not metal, but it's that type of like
Yeah.
hard plastic that they use, and dude, I've seen many players wear those, and I'm like, I always think like somebody's gonna get hurt.
They should be illegal.
Yeah.
Well, you make a great point, because I mean, anybody who saw those images saw like the big chunk of meat that the
Yeah.
cleat took out of his leg.
and it was because of that type of cleat. Because Briseño is the type of defender that ever since he came to Chivas, you saw him how he
Yeah.
came into with
Intense
this
guy.
team. Yes, he's intense, and even in his interviews, it's like, we gotta be rough, we gotta be strong, and he's always putting raising his voice and being the type of defender that you want on your team. It was an unfortunate play. It, like I said, it was too fast, but I don't think it was intentionally, man.
Okay. Yeah. He did end up getting a 4-game suspension, so he's gonna be missing for 4 games. And it's kind of tough for Chivas because obviously, fighting descenso. I know that the guys pointed out that the fact that Veracruz is helping them out a lot by basically, having that, what is it, almost 1 point differential on the descenso. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that Briseño is a player that you do want to have on your team. And it is an unfortunate, circumstance. Now, I wanted to go back and talk about the officiating because we talked about the penalties really quick. I personally thought that the VAR on the first time around, the first penalty, it was that right call. But then on the second one, where it, at least on television, right, as we're watching the play, it looks as though the Chivas defender turns around and the ball hits his shoulder. Now, during the VAR sequence, they actually are seeing the referee. So I'm assuming that we're seeing what the referee is seeing, right? And then they don't show him that close-up. So I'm just wondering, like, why did that happen? So, Luis and Leo, what did you guys think of that particular play? Did you guys think that was a penalty? So, Leo, let's start with you.
I thought the first foul in the box was a penalty. I can't say about the second one because on TV they wouldn't show different angles, so I was kind of disappointed in there. So I think America, I mean, they deserved the penalty from the first one. The second one, I can't say just because of the angle. I did see from what they showed on TV, I did see the shoulder get hit first, then bounce off the hand. I mean, at least from my angle. But I can't really say, it was a penalty.
What about you, Luis? Did you think that was a penalty?
The second one, well, like Leo, I thought the first one should have been called a penalty. The second one, though, it was initially called a penalty, but I think, like how you said, Joe, it feels like they only gave the referee one view, which
Right.
was the overhead view.
Right.
Which, honestly, that one you couldn't even tell if it kind of looked like it hit his hand with that overhand view, but the other angle that was shown a lot more, at least on the viewer's screen, was the one where we clearly see has the field view. And I thought it might have hit his hand because his hand looked like it was right next to his shoulder. But I mean, I feel like they didn't give the referee multiple angles like they should have.
Yeah.
And maybe kind of like in the NFL where it has to be indisputable in order for it to be overturned. But I don't know. That's going to be debatable either way. But yeah.
My question is, doesn't he have the option to change the angles? I mean, you would think that he would have just like it's it's like a touchscreen, and that you can.
Right. I don't know. I don't
to-
think he does. I think the VAR people are the.
I don't
I-
think. Yeah, that's control. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the referees up top are the ones that show him the angles. And
Right.
he's just viewing whatever they give him, and it's his decision at the end.
Right. Yeah.
But I think that they should be able to see.
Yeah, and from
every
the
angle.
stadiums, they didn't show any of that.
Right.
So again, we were just left
In the dark. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Well, again, I don't, you know, I don't think neither one was a
Yeah,
penalty.
and the referee, like, just left things to desire. All right.
And then they got another red card though. Out of that play, Cervantes was gone, and it was like
right, but I mean, who knows what the heck he said to the referee?
yeah, dude.
It's,
you
I
know,
get it. I get what you're saying.
You know,
But if you're like telling the referee off, like, you're a professional player. You shouldn't be telling the referee off. Leave that shit to the fans. You know what I'm saying?
well, yeah.
So regardless, that's on Cervantes. If he calls the ref, go something about your mother, which I'm not saying that's what he said, right?
Yeah, I know. I agree.
So,
So
all right, guys, I'll give you 30 seconds each to give me your final thoughts on how you felt.
and really quick.
Go ahead, Luz.
oh.
All right. So let's start with you. Give me 30 seconds of El Clásico.
Well,
Your
like I
thoughts.
said, everything was against Chivas this time. It was not what I expected of El Clásico. It was a very weird game, and congratulations to the Americanistas. That's all I can say.
All right, Luis.
Clearly what we expected, though. Dominating victory by America from beginning to end, though. But obviously the most surprising part was Cordova, how well he played and how well he dominated the game, and obviously the Giovanni Dos Santos injury.
Yeah. Leo, for this game, give me 30 seconds.
I agree with Luis. Cordova was probably the main guy that helped America beat Chivas. I have to agree with Supe, about this game being against Chivas. I think it's just the owners, the team, the coaches, the bad decision. I feel bad for you, Supe, but I don't think the ref was against Chivas. I think it was just Chivas against Chivas.
No, yeah, well, he contributed.
Yeah. All right. Z, give me your last 30 seconds on this Chivas and America Clásico.
Yeah, I mean the build up was exciting, but once the game started, you saw who truly dominated. I mean, America. I mean, just look at the stats, right? They attacked, they had possession, they had it all. I think the only in the Chivas side that nobody really talks about was Antonio Rodriguez, the goalie. That guy prevented a lot more goals from happening. So just going back and during the game, I mean, some of those stops were ridiculous. So
Okay.
let's not forget about the goaltender for Chivas. He saved us, and it is what it is. We got to move on and just be better than the Tiburones.
Yeah.
And that was a new addition to the lineup, right?
Yeah.
Tena?
It was. So and then maybe he's gonna do better moves, and he's gonna get to know. I think what they need help with is the midfield, in defense for Chivas. There was no setup of plays. I mean, the offense had nothing to go with, man. So that's what they need to focus on.
You know what I forgot to say though, and the one thing that I think I would have done, I would have put Oribe in man. At some point, I know it was all this crazy shit that happened, but I think it was a game for Oribe.
Yeah. All right. One other topic. This is kind of a side topic. Before I jump into the Tigres and Monterrey game, the other Clásico, is that midweek when they made this hire, whether or not you're in agreement that Tomas Boy should have been fired or not, the biggest concern that I had was who was going to be the next coach. And when I saw the naming of Luis Fernando Tena, we've been talking about this in this podcast on and on and on and on. And it's the fact that it is the same old recycled coaches over and over and over and over. And I'm just wondering, what's it going to take for somebody in Liga MX to give an opportunity to a young coach? Why do we need to have another coach who has been, the coach of Liga MX teams since the early 90s? He's been the Cruz Azul coach on 3 different occasions. What does that tell you? What is it going to take?
He was the coach, right? The last time they actually won the Liga.
Who's that?
Tena.
Oh,
The last time that Chivas won the.
No, the last time that Cruz Azul won the
Oh
league.
yeah, yeah.
97.
That's a long time.
That was 1997, dude.
Sorry, I thought you meant Chivas, but anyway. But the point is that it's like I don't know about you guys, but I'm sick and tired of these recycled coaches. Like, what are you guys waiting to give somebody a chance? We saw it happen. Somebody pointed this out. I think it was Luis P. when we brought this up last time, and we talked about how in the NFL it was the exact same thing. The exact same thing. Coaches being recycled left and right. One could go from the Raiders to the Jets to this to that, until finally the Rams gave their head coach an opportunity, a 30-year-old guy, and look at what happened. You know, so is there no one out there that young that can do this?
Well, there is, Joe. In this case, there is, but the thing of it is that Chivas right now, it's not in a good position. I think it comes down to money, man. They don't have the money to invest in a good.
That's even better. They don't
Dude.
pay a young coach a lot of money.
Yeah, that
No,
totally
but
doesn't make
I
sense.
think-
I think it's cheaper to get a younger coach.
Joe, they had him.
Yeah, they did.
They had him.
Almeida.
He's in
they-
San Jose now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
man.
but
I'm so pissed off about that.
and I don't know, dude. There was
it's
something
just-
fishy about,
It's
like, I
just
think it was
Chivas
a
with the bad
promotor.
decisions. You have to agree with me. It's just the bad decisions from the owner. It's not gonna change. It's gonna keep happening. Obviously they don't want to sell a team, but if they don't sell a team, Chivas are just gonna keep
Right,
going
but-
more
but-
down and down.
But this particular issue about coaches it goes beyond Chivas. I'm not talking just
Oh, no,
about
yeah.
Chivas. I'm talking about
Yeah,
like
other
Mexican
teams.
league in general.
Well, we're probably going to see the same thing right now with Monterrey.
Exactly.
I
Like
heard-
I heard like Hugo Sanchez, right?
yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
heard.
Yeah.
Hugo
Oh,
Sanchez.
Like
man.
really? Like I
They're also
mean,
talking about Almeida. They started talking.
whatever.
About,
There's
you
rumors
know,
left and right. But the
yeah,
point is, again,
yeah.
is there not young coaches out there? Is there not? Everybody's saying there
think
is, right?
I
But
think it's
why
just a
aren't
big
these guys-
risk for teams. They don't want to risk it. You know,
Well.
putting someone with no experience or
Yeah.
maybe some experience, and they like, oh, look, Hugo Sanchez, he's coach of this team and this team.
Right.
Maybe he could turn it around. But I don't know. I don't know if there's like a transfer coach list or something. But I mean,
It's
It
That'd
seems
be
like
kinda
there's only
good.
like 5 of them.
it's the we come on. Let's just step back a little bit and let's really look at the big picture here. It's los promotores, man. It's like you said,
the money,
the money,
Yeah.
the corruption.
and they're all
It's-
connected in one way or
yes,
another with those
yes.
guys. They all get.
Who do you think
yeah.
puts them in those teams?
Of course, yeah,
The guy that controls the liga.
yeah.
know?
No, yeah, yeah.
So that's what it is.
All right. All right. Enough of my little rant about that. So, something to think about, some food for the thought. The other Clasico, Monterrey versus Tigres. Let's start with you, Super. Did that game disappoint, or is Tigres once again showing that they are holding the edge over Monterrey?
Well, yeah, man. They definitely. I wasn't expecting that they were gonna win. They were doing horrible, dude.
Yeah.
Tigres was doing horrible, and it goes to show you that when you play a game like that, the pride comes out. You cannot lose this type of games. And in favor of Tigres, he has like Monterrey as they're the son. They're the son. You know how they say es mi hijo. Monterrey is mi hijo, and that's what it is. They Tuca just has Monterrey under control.
Yeah.
So, in La Liga at least.
Yeah. Hey Z. So there's been talks that El Clásico Regio is getting up to the same caliber as the Clásico Nacional. Would you say that that's the case with Monterrey and Tigres?
Yeah, only for the North Mexican teams or more states, but that's about it, man. No, I don't think it even comes close.
Yeah.
Not even close, man. I mean, look at the headlines, look at the build up towards it, the coverage. There was no comparison. Chivas America has dominated the social media outlets.
Right. Louis, what did you think of the Tigres' dominant win over Monterrey? Do you see them once again taking over the championship? I mean, were named the team of the decade, right? How many titles? Like 5 in 10 years?
5 and 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing though is, excuse me, like Super said though, Monterrey, I feel like they were the better team throughout the game.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're the ones that actually lost the game. and Tigres had been struggling. I think it was the first game that Guignac had scored in a while.
Yeah.
I want to say over like a month and a half.
Yeah, he had been on a little slump.
So, yeah, so Monterrey had everything going for them. They were at home. They had Guignac, who was, like I said, he was struggling a bit, but I feel like they just gave up way too many opportunities. They're probably trying a little too hard, but yeah,
Leo, are you
now they ended up firing the coach. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's see who they bring in. But
El Ojitos Mesa.
I
probably.
wouldn't be surprised if they bring back Turco Mohamed.
That's true.
He's always been rumored for the last openings too, so could be.
Leo did so Monterrey is now out of the playoff picture, but obviously, as we all know, Liga MX, again, I keep on repeating it and re-emphasizing, top to bottom, most competitive league in the world, at least in the Western Hemisphere, in my opinion. Tigres 17 points, Puma 17 points, but then also the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th spot, only separated by 1 point. So Monterrey is in that 12th spot, 16 points. Do you see Monterrey in the playoffs again, Leo?
I guess it just depends on their coach. They still have like 5 games left.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I think they still have a chance. I guess once we know who the coach is and maybe see their first game, if they play good, then they have a shot. But if if it's the same thing that they've been struggling in, I don't know. I feel like a lot of things can happen in Liga MX.
Of
So I
course.
don't want to say they are or they can't,
That's
but
fair.
they still have a chance. They shouldn't be giving up.
I mean,
Joe, one thing with Monterrey, I feel like they still have not been able to get their 2 forwards in sync.
Yeah.
Their new one that they brought from Europe. I
from
forget
England,
his
yeah.
name all the time.
Jensen.
Johansson or something like that. Jensen.
Yep.
With the twin up top, and it seems like they just can't seem to find a way to play with each other.
Yeah. Yeah, Vincent Jensen, he scored, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago. I can't recall, but I know that he's definitely hasn't lived up to the hype. But then I also, you're right. I don't understand like why the reason may be, but maybe it's just that he's just not, in full sync. But as both of you guys mentioned, I mean, and Leo just mentioned right now, Liga MX has still 5, in some cases 6 games left for for some of the teams, and there's a lot of football left to be played. And at this point, even Chivas can still clinch the playoffs. That's the
they
reality.
have six games. Dude, Chivas and Juarez are only six points away from the 8th place.
Yeah,
so
I mean, all you need is 2 wins.
Technically, you can,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
No, I know. I'm not. It's not, it's on if you on math. If you do the math,
Mathematically, of course. No,
yes.
I mean, mathematically, Veracruz is not eliminated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was about to say.
Yes. So it's just that's how it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's switch gears to another topic, and this one is here in the United States at MLS. Our boy Carlos Vela. Man, dude, all right. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start first with Luis. Luis, give me one word to describe Carlos Vela's season.
Unbelievable.
Leo.
Cracklitos.
Z.
One word, huh?
One word.
I would say, unrealistic.
Oh, I like that. All right, super. What about you?
MVP, man.
Yeah,
That's 3 letters. You beat us.
It's been definitely all those descriptions about Carlos Vela's season so far. 31 goals. He's tied now Josef Martinez for the MLS record for most goals in one season. They close out at home, so all he needs is 1 goal and he becomes the all-time leading scorer. Now, all right, so with Vela, obviously those of us who are fans of Mexican soccer, and especially, those of you guys that may be fans of LAFC, are just having a blast watching Vela just tear the nets. But even if he breaks the scoring season record, if he doesn't win a title, is it a failure? Super?
As a team, it will definitely be. It will be. They were last season.
No, but I'm talking about Carlos Vela himself.
Oh, Carlos, but no. Well, he put the team on his shoulders, and
so the season will be a
no,
success.
I think he definitely has a successful season for personally.
Okay. All right, Leo, do you think that he needs to win the title?
Damn, I feel like he's obligated to do it. Just because they already won the Supporters Shield, they got first place.
Yeah.
They've been breaking records. I mean, I think they're the obvious favorites in all of MLS. So, I mean, if they can't win, it's for sure going to be a failure because, I mean, if they were like maybe third, fourth in the conference and they do win, then I'm like, all right, great. But as first place, winning all these games and breaking records, it'd be a failure for sure.
Hey, Luis, if Vela wins the MVP award as well, but he doesn't win a title, is that good enough?
I don't think it's good enough. Last year, we saw Joseph Martinez break the record with 31 goals. 31 goals. And he went on to win the championship, the MLS Cup. Right. And we saw him win also another, with the Campeones Cup against America.
Right.
So he's racked up a couple of trophies already with the second year of Atlanta. And I feel like if Vela doesn't rack up that major trophy, which is the MLS Cup in the second year, he's going to be not at that level as Joseph, at least in the MLS part.
Right. Well, one other thing I'm curious about, it's been quite the race for the MVP award between Vela and Zlatan. Zlatan's goals have been unbelievable. I mean, he's made some jaw-dropping goals this year, obviously many goals throughout his career.
They seem to come only against LAFC.
But so Z, I want to know your thoughts on the MVP race.
I mean, we just got to go by the numbers, right? So Vela definitely deserves it, even though Zlatan, with his age, if they were the same age, I mean, Zlatan would probably walk all over him, I think. But Vela deserves it. He's got the numbers. He's got his team to the top of the charts. But with me, Vela's an enigma. Coming from the Mexico side as a fan, it's frustrating to see what's going on with them. But you can't help but respect the guy. He's performing. He looks happier than ever. I don't know if you guys seen him in previous teams. I've never seen him as happy and enjoying his time. So honestly, at first I was like, I don't think he'll care. It's all about himself. He's selfish, but no, he's not. I think he really cares about this team, cares about winning. And I don't think if he doesn't win the title, I think he's going to be disappointed. He can care less about the MVP or scoring title.
Well, I don't know about that because I think he has said in the past that he wants to win the MVP. Yeah, he has verbally.
Yes, and that's why I think that it will not be, a failure. His name is going on the books, man. He cannot win a title on his own. It has to be a team thing. So if they don't win the title, yeah, it's gonna be a failure for the team. But personally, he set some goals up, and he's gonna achieve all those goals. So you cannot call his season a failure.
Well,
I don't remember that interview, man, but if that was the case, and yeah, dude, I mean that just shows that he cares about himself. It's all about his numbers.
Yeah.
Zlatan.
Oh, Zlatan, same thing. Yeah,
it's just a little under Zlatan right there, but no. But I think that, like I said, I don't see anybody beating them. They're just went right past this league, man. The 69 points, 20 games won. They only lost 4 games. If you really look at that, every other team, that.
No, they've had an incredible season.
Yes,
for sure.
Now, they're still 3 points away from breaking the all-time points record.
So they could only tie, though, right?
No, they would jump it with 3 points.
Oh, they would jump.
Oh, so they tied.
Yeah. So they're at 69 right now.
Mm-hmm.
The Red Bulls had 71 points.
Oh,
last season.
Okay. So they could. Okay.
So they can potentially take over that record as well.
Wow.
So it would be a completely record-breaking season, especially if Vela wins.
Wow.
And LAFC wins the MLS Cup.
Wow. So then I think that amounts to an even extra set of pressures for them. You
Yeah.
know, because you
Of
think
course,
you go
because you would excuse me, sorry, Joe, but you would literally have the best team on record
ever.
in
Yeah.
MLS history, yeah, ever, with the MVP, scoring MVP, scoring title. He's leading. He's gonna get league MVP. They won the Supporter Shield. They're gonna break the record for most points, and they're gonna win the MLS Cup. I mean, that would be the greatest, honestly,
Right.
for Vela.
Yeah, yeah, and it would be a dream season and probably one of the probably most difficult seasons to top for any player. They would set the bar so high if they were to go on and win the title because then now you will be talking about best team ever, you know. And obviously in basketball there's a lot of references. You know, you go like back to the Bulls era and you know, remember how the Golden State Warriors had like that best season ever, but then they fizzled in the finals and they didn't win. So
Yeah.
that's why I think about MLS and LAFC in particular, how if they don't win, if they have this incredible regular season but they don't win the title, it's a failure, you know.
Hmm.
And again, yes, you're absolutely right. As far as personal things for Vela, yeah, he's gonna have his goals, he's gonna have his records, right? But the reality is that the titles are typically what separate great from greatness. You know, a lot of people used to talk about Tom Brady, and now that he's won 6 Super Bowl rings, they say,
Mhm.
you know what, he's the greatest ever. But because he has this, you know, the 6 Super Bowl titles, right? And that's what I mean, like titles. And and another obviously even more closer comparison, Messi, right? The reason why a lot of people will never say that Messi is the greatest soccer player ever, or
Yeah.
even Argentinian,
Well,
is because he
that's the
doesn't have a
problem,
World Cup.
dude. He's all the Argentinians are not. They're
No, I'm not talking about the older Argentina. I'm talking about just in general. There's a lot of people that say that Messi will not be the greatest player ever because he did not win a World Cup.
Yeah, but most of them are Argentinians. Man.
No, I believe the same thing.
No, I think yes,
Title
nivel
separate.
selección, yes, he will never be, you know what, Maradona. But even you know Maradona, come on, man, he was the greatest. Yeah, he won a
Yeah,
trophy,
but
his
anyway,
career wise,
well, my point is my
You know.
point is about Vela. Vela needs to win the MLS Cup, especially if they end up getting this record. Now their southern neighbors, the Galaxy. How important or how much do you think the league needs another El Tráfico matchup in the playoffs?
well,
Ooh.
I think.
How crazy would that be?
Oh yeah, I think that's we want. Yeah, we all want that, and we LAFC wants that
Zlatan wants
because
it.
Vela wants it because they want to beat LA Galaxy on the same stage, the bigger stage,
Yeah.
the bigger stage.
Hey Z, so you're from the Phoenix area, but tell us, even in your area, you guys don't have an MLS team right there, but what do the people there like think of El Tráfico? Or is the hype like real? Is it national, or is this only an LA thing?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, the circles that I hang around with, I mean, we know them because of the PVA connection and
Right.
our PVA members out there, Ivan and
Yep.
Javi.
Yep.
They're big LAFC followers, and then we have a few members that are LA Galaxy followers as well. So we hear it from them. But besides that, I mean, there's not a lot of there's that LA connection. A lot of people from LA moved to Phoenix.
Right.
So there's that connection there. But the people that moved out here, this is before they were relevant. LFC wasn't even around
Right.
when they lived back then. So I say the only connection is through people in my PVA circles that are, we hear a lot about it, and it's a buzz. I mean, it's nationwide. You hear it on all the top channels, and it's a game of the week.
Yep.
So it makes MLS really relevant. I mean, I think that rivalry is healthy and it's important to keep MLS going. To keep it growing in popularity.
Leo, do you think that LAFC really wants to face the Galaxy, or would they be happy if they just make it to the MLS Cup Finals regardless?
I mean, as a LAFC fan, I'd love to see Old Trafford go in playoffs, and I think for sure LAFC fans and LAFC want to defeat Galaxy. They've been struggling every time they face them, but I think beating them in playoffs counts as maybe like 2-3 wins, just because it's playoffs, and if they win the title, I mean that's an I guess more history for them.
Right.
What I want to see is an LAFC against some of the Liga MX teams right now.
Yeah.
Like
CONCACAF.
I want to see some of them. I mean, I don't think have they been in any tournaments recently? I know they're fairly new, right? So
They qualified
well,
for the
No.
CONCACAF Champions League.
Right.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that. You know, I'm
Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
forward to seeing LAFC going up against Liga MX Best.
Yeah. That's gonna be taking place. So they qualify for the first ever CONCACAF Champions League, and it's great. It's great, and I think that we've seen a lot of really good MLS versus Liga MX games recently, particularly in the CONCACAF Champions League. You know, but in any case, I go back to Galaxy versus LAFC because, yeah, in order these MLS teams. The truth of the matter is that, yes, the games have gotten a little bit closer, but they haven't won a CONCACAF Champions League since it turned into the CONCACAF Champions League, you know? So they need to improve. They need to get better so that way they can beat up on Liga MX teams, you know? Because if not, then it's going to be like, okay, yeah, you're the best in the MLS, but big deal. It's like the same thing with Liga MX teams, right? You see that in the Club World Cup, you know?
Yeah.
When the winner of the CONCACAF goes and gets their ass kicked by like whomever, like Wakazaki, or you know, it's embarrassing when you get your representative going out to the world stage and just getting your ass kicked. So, you know, it's tough, and I think it's the same thing, and it's the same feeling because I talk to a lot of people from MLS circles that have been involved in the MLS, and they're tired of that. They just can't wait till an MLS team just goes into Mexico and just kicks ass. So. All right, guys, I think we're about to wrap it up. Really quick, I just want to remind everybody that this Tuesday, Mexico taking on Trinidad and Tobago in a friendly before they start the.
Is it Tuesday or Wednesday?
This Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, before they start their Nations Cup participation. So as we do it in customary fashion, Z, give me your final words for today's podcast.
I'm gonna say roller coaster ride, man. Going to Mexico City, getting excited for this match, and then seeing the destruction of Chivas in front of the America crowd. You know, brought it down to brought that whole high to a low. So roller coaster.
Nice, Leo. What do you got?
I think it was just a good week for America. It was a good team for Carlos Vela. Hopefully this keeps continue going, and hopefully our extranjeros, have more playing time, because I know I feel really bad that you're not getting the opportunities to play, but hopefully it changes, with more playing time.
Little zigzag right there. 1 week they do really good and score goals, and the next week they're all on the bench. Louis, final thoughts from you?
Yeah, well, like we talked about, dominating victory by America. Interesting to see Cordoba tomorrow in the game against Trinidad and Tobago. So hopefully he gets some starting time with Mexico. And we'll see if Carlos Vela is able to break the record this Sunday here at home.
All right. And I see Super just rolling his eyes. Super. I'll leave you the mic. Dude.
Congratulations, guys. That's all I can say, Listen, I can take it. You guys can celebrate all you want, but we'll see you in the rebound.
The ascenso
In the playoffs.
Ouch.
All right. It's been quite the podcast today. Again, thank you very much, guys, for taking your time and participating in today's podcast. I just want to let everybody out there know that if you guys are interested in participating in the ETO podcast and you guys want us to send a couple of messages or shout-outs, just send us a note on our Instagram. Oh, yeah, and Super just actually alerted me. It is Wednesday. So
Wednesday.
Thanks for the update. Yeah. So Mexico versus Trinidad on Wednesday, not Tuesday. If you guys want to give anybody a shout-out, send us a message. Send us an email to etopodcast@eltriaonline.com. So that way, we can shout you out right here on the podcast. So on behalf of El Super Mojado, Luis, not Luis Perez, but Luis Bravo, Leo Hernandez, and Zinuhe, please, thank you very much for your time. And until next time, so long.
Hey, come back, guys.
All right. Oh, turn that off.